Okay, so we're on session number 2 of Optimized Profitability with Diane Cassel over there. Yeah, I always point the wrong direction. I'm going to get it down one of these days. Over there. She's the redhead, in case you're wondering. But before we get started, we're going to talk about health. I want to tell a quick little story about my own life because something she said in the previous episode really triggered that thought in my process. My own mother was in the hospital. She's having really bad issues. And I found out she was taking over 16 prescriptions. Being the kind of son person I am, I want to research and know what's going on. I literally researched every one of those pills, and every one of those pills was an addition to counteract a result of the previous pill. And so it was this horrible process. I called the doctor and I was livid. I'm like, you will quit taking these pills or I'm going to sue you. It's that simple. I will be there tomorrow if I have to. I was ticked. I'm a son and I'm going to take care of my mom. You know what I'm saying? Long story short, she went from 16 pills to taking like 2 at this time. Because when they went back and checked why they did everything, they went back to 2 pills. Now she's gotten some more because some other complications. That's a whole nother story. But sometimes we do that with our health. We just keep adding things. And so Diane's more of a professional on this topic. So I'm going to just turn it over to her and I'm going to listen in with you guys. And I may have a couple of questions along the way, but Diane, take it away. Tell us more how health works.
Wow. Well, I hear this story a lot and I believe, going back in defense of your mama, that generation just really believed doctors. They believed, okay, the doctor went to school and they know what's best. Back then we didn't research. Nobody researched anything. We didn't have the internet.
Exactly.
That's dating me. But we didn't have the internet. And so we relied on the professionals. And we thought, well, they're going to know what's best for me. And so your mom just started taking whatever the doctor recommended. And my parents did the same thing. And so when you take a pharmaceutical, if you have ever watched a big pharmaceutical drug commercial on TV, they always at the end give the disclaimer of all the side effects, right? Mm-hmm. And there's tons of side effects. And so you're thinking, wow, why would I take that drug and then possibly get all those side effects? But back in the day, you just did. And then what happened with your mom and so many people and my parents is that then it caused a different problem in your body. And then you took a different drug to combat that. And then it caused a different problem. And then the doctor prescribed a different drug to combat that. So the doctor was putting Band-Aids. I like to call it, like, envision a child with lots of Band-Aids on their legs because they fall down a lot.
Right.
So all you're doing is putting Band-Aids on the problem instead of fixing the problem, mm-hmm. right? And so it's like a ball of twine. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, we didn't know about holistic medicine back then. We didn't know about Eastern medicine, that we should get back to that. And so what started happening then is that the internet came into play and people started researching things. And then holistic doctors started coming up out of the woodwork. Like, what's this all about? And we started learning different ways. The big thing that we learned from all of this is that you're not predestined to your family's genetics. So if your mom is prone to cardiac disease, or if your mom is prone to cancer because her mother had cancer, her grandmother had cancer, all of her sisters had cancer, it doesn't mean that you're going to get cancer. It's only 10%. Your body is only 10% genetics. Seriously. And the 90%, the rest of it is all your lifestyle and your lifestyle choices. That is what I teach. I'm not a doctor. I don't profess to be a doctor. I have no certifications. But what I do is I research and I talk to holistic doctors. And I've learned that you're not predestined. You're not predestined for death. You're not predestined for a lifestyle of living a life of hell because your parents did. and going and suffering through all that. Lyle said something earlier, and I'm gonna read my note here. I don't believe in reading notes while I'm being interviewed, but I got to read this because it resonated with me. And I have a lot of other things to say about it. He said, "Are you surviving or are you living?" And that's what's happening with a lot of people out there. You're just barely hanging on. You don't have the quality, the lifestyle that you should have because you're just barely hanging on. And God doesn't want you to live that way. And what I teach is I ask you a lot of questions. I ask you a lot of questions because I want you to think about where you are right now. And I believe in an abundant mindset, not a scarcity mindset, because really your illness, a lot of times, I'm telling you, a lot of times it's been proven. It's been proven by Mayo Clinic. So the experts have proven this, not me. You can go check it out, do the fact check like everybody's doing right now. Do the fact check. A lot of your illness comes from right here, the 6 inches between your ears, your mindset. And I like to teach people that to have an abundant mindset is so important for you to understand that you don't have to live this way. I want people to hear this question. Do you have a preference? If you had a choice, would you rather prevent disease or treat disease? I'm going to say it again. Would you rather prevent disease or treat disease? And I don't know about you, but personally, I would rather prevent it. And there are so many things you can do, so many things that we've learned that are scientifically proven that you can make these changes in your life. And it doesn't take a lot. It doesn't take a lot to change. I know people don't like that word change. Oh, I don't want to change. People don't like change. But there are things that you can do to implement into your life, very simple things that don't cost a lot of money. And that's another issue that people have a hang up. Well, and I hear this a lot, Diane, well, and living a healthy lifestyle means I got to go to Central Market or Whole Foods or, those, all those expensive places that it costs too much money to buy stuff there. No, you don't have to do that. I teach you ways to do this on a budget. And most importantly, just have the mindset that God wants you to go out and live a healthy life. He doesn't want you to live it sick. He wants you to be a servant. He wants you to be a servant. He wants you to go out and share the gifts that he gave you. And so that's really it in a nutshell, Lyle. A really long answer to your question.
What are some things they can do right now to help them just kind of get on the path to healthiness?
I think the simplest thing is I try to do it in baby steps. Mm-hmm. So I do a complimentary home assessment. That's what I offer everyone, a complimentary home assessment. It's kind of like, you've probably heard trainers fitness trainers that go into somebody's house and they look in their cabinets in the refrigerator to see what kind of food they're eating. Right. And they say, no, 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 no. And they take it and they dump it in the garbage can. Right. And then they replace it with good stuff. That's kind of what I do. I point out why, what have we learned from our past that really created sickness in our life? What has been proven scientifically that we grew up with, things we grew up with? Our great-grandparents, our grandparents, our parents passed down to us because that's all they knew. Mm-hmm. We have a favorite saying is that you don't know what you don't know. Right. And I know a lot of people have heard that, but you don't. And it's important to reach out to somebody that does know, that you feel confident with, that you feel like you can trust that person, that they have no hidden agendas. I don't have any hidden agendas. I just love to teach people how to live a healthy lifestyle. And I think the first step is to have me come in. And if you don't want me to come physically to your house because of the COVID, I'm not going to make fun of you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to respect you and your wishes and your mindset. We can do it virtually. You know, that's a cool thing about right now. This technology is, I've been doing them virtually, and it's really kind of fun. You know, this lady just took her phone from one room to the next, and we literally go from one room to the next, and you show me the products that you're using in each room. It's kind of like my husband said, he loves to create word pictures. He says, so what are the 10 products that you're using in your bathroom before you even leave your bathroom every day that are killing you?
Mm-hmm.
And people are like, whoa. They stop and say, well, what are you talking about? And that's what I do. That's what I do. And I point out what has been proven by the EPA, our Environmental Protection Agency, what has been proven to kill people. And the products that we grew up with, the products that are on the shelves out there right now that you're buying. If you're going to a store, a Target, a Sam's, a Costco, a grocery store, wherever you're going, you're buying products from a big box manufacturer. And those big box manufacturers, it's not that they don't care about you, but they're publicly held and they care about their stockholders, their shareholders. And so they're going to produce products with very cheap ingredients. And a lot of those ingredients kill you. They make you sick. And we didn't know that growing up, but we know it now. And unfortunately, our country does not have a governing body that tells those companies a slap on the hand that you can't do that. European countries do. European countries do not allow any of their manufacturers to produce anything that has a toxic ingredient in it. And those are just some of the things that I teach.
So when someone's working with you, kind of explain what that process looks like.
Well, we start out on a fact-finding mission, first off. So we do the home assessment. And the question that I ask is, what is the biggest thing? What is your biggest fear right now of your health? You know, and I get so many different answers, Lyle. I get, well, my mother had breast cancer at the age of 60. Her mother had breast cancer. All of her sisters had cancer. I don't want to get cancer.
Right.
And I say, well, you don't have to get cancer. You know, I can't promise anybody.
Right. I
will never make any legal statements that, you know, my products or what I'm telling you is going to give you a bubble lifestyle where you don't get any bumps and bruises along the way. I can't do that. But what I can do is I can teach you. And that's what I do. I teach you step by step, the little baby steps, like I say. So I like to say I start out in the home with the products that you're using for cleaning products, the bleaches, the formaldehydes, the ammonias, the things that we know are killing you. That's where I start. And then we just kind of expand from there. So what are you using for your bath and body products? What are you using for your personal products? What are you eating? What are you bringing into your house? What is your lifestyle? So we chunk it down, and that's what I like to do because everybody's life is different, right? And then I ask them the biggest question of all, and it's a big one. What are you willing to do? What are you willing to do to not follow the path of illness? And if you're willing to do those things and learn how to do them, it's so easy. And, you know, I make it fun because if you're not having fun, I don't think that you should be doing it. I make it fun. And then I also make it economical for you. I actually show you ways to save money and save time. So I want to be able to make this make sense for you in your pocketbook, in your budget, because right now that's more important than ever because people have lost their jobs. They've been asked to take a cut in hours or pay. Excuse me. And it's important for me to help you insulate your income. So I'm going to show you ways to do that, where you're actually getting products that are high quality products that are healthy for you, that are less money, and save you time, because I'm going to show you how to buy those products online, because a lot of us don't want to go out to stores anymore. You know, a lot of us don't want to go to those stores because they're in fear. They're in fear of what's going on, and that's okay. I'm going to teach you how to live your life without fear. That's the biggest thing, because God doesn't want you living like a lot of people are living right now. Right. I'm going to teach you how to do that. But I don't want to go out of the stores just simply because I want to save time. And so I've learned how to shop online, and I know a lot of people have gone to that. Mm-hmm. A lot of people, you know, brick and mortar is going away anyway. You know, we've seen the trends, and a lot of people have shifted to online shopping, even people in my generation. And I know my kids, you know, they don't ever go shopping. My kids are ordering their groceries online and going and picking them up, and they come pull up to the curb and they put them in their car for them. So that's the way of the future. That's the way of the present right now. So those are the things that I do. And most importantly, I do them because I know that it makes a difference. And I love doing it. I love doing it. I love watching people grow in confidence. I love watching people save money. I love the stories that I get more than anything. One of the best stories ever that I got was a friend of mine, they had a new baby, and the baby was developing eczema, which for those of you parents out there know that happens to babies. That just happens. And most times it's on their little faces because they lay on their faces. A lot of times it's in the crook of their knees or their elbows where they don't get a lot of air. And she said that they took their baby to the doctor. And the doctor says, well, I'm going to recommend you go to a dermatologist for your baby. And they go to the dermatologist, and the dermatologist says, well, I'm going to give you a steroid cream that I want you to rub on your baby's skin. And she said, that just doesn't sound right, because steroids aren't healthy. She'd heard me talking about that enough. Mm-hmm. And steroids get into your bloodstream, and they cause other problems. And so she called me, and she was in tears. She says, I just don't know what to do. I've tried everything. I've tried all the creams that they recommended, the Eucerins and all that stuff that they recommend over the counter that has always been recommended. Eucerin has always been recommended, and it doesn't work. What am I going to do? I said, well, I'm going to recommend something to you from my product line that might be a solution, and that I've found from other people that have given me testimonials. It is a solution. And I want you to try it for a week and let me know what you think. She called me 2 days later, and she was crying, tears of joy. Mm-hmm. Thank goodness. She was crying, and she says, I can't believe this stuff. I don't know what's in this stuff, but I'm going to tell everybody about this stuff. She said, in 2 days, you wouldn't have even known that he had eczema. And those are just some of the stories. That one other quick story is a friend of mine that has asthma. She's had asthma most of her adult life, and she's got the inhaler that she carries around. She can't ever lose that inhaler because she's had to use it several times a day. And she lives a healthy lifestyle. She lives a healthy lifestyle. She does everything she's supposed to do. But she had some things in her house that were not so healthy, and she didn't know. And so we changed a couple of things. We changed her cleaning products. We changed the air pollution. We removed the air pollution inside of her house. Mm-hmm. You know, the EPA.gov, if you go on their website, it says the air pollution in your house is 3 times worse than outside. Mm-hmm. And you're wondering, well, how could that be? Well, it's because of the things that you bring into your house. Most of the things that you bring into your house are in a plastic container. And what the doctors learn scientifically is a thing called outgassing. Mm-hmm. And outgassing is the toxic chemicals that they are allowed to put in those products. They start leaching out of the plastic into your home. And that's why they have learned that the air pollution in your house is way worse than outside. That's what was happening to my friend who was on the inhaler several times a day. When we changed that, just those things, she went from several times a day to several times a week. And it made, we go back to that quality of life, right? That question. I'm going to look down. Are you surviving or just living? Mm-hmm. What Lyle said to me. And those are some of the things that I know will make a difference in your life.
That's cool. Do you have a website they can visit, or can we put some links below here? You just want to share your cell phone number? How can somebody work with you?
I would love, the website is way too long. Now you could put it down there. Do you want me to do that?
Yeah, go ahead and spell it out, and we'll make sure, and we'll put a little button below this video so they can find it.
Okay. I'm going to spell it out. It's it's a little strange, and I have to think about it myself.
We'll put it below.
We'll do it
there.
later. We'll do it later, but I'm going to give you my cell phone number.
Okay.
And if you would text me before you call and tell me that you heard me on Lyle's show, Optimize Profitability, and then we'll find time to connect. My cell phone number is 972-658-4035.
Great. Any final tips before we exit this part of our training?
I think most importantly, I want to introduce a new program that I have. And my new program it's a health coalition for entrepreneurs. And so I'm in a hurry. I'm on a rescue mission to help you. If you're an entrepreneur, I'd like to help you and teach you those little tricks of the trade, I like to call it. I have what I call it's funny, and I even have this as a real tool. It's a first aid kit for entrepreneurs. It's the things that you need every single day to survive out there.
Wow.
And just the little things that will help you with your energy, with your mindset, and most certainly help you do whatever you can to prevent illness.
Mm-hmm. Great. Thanks for being on with us today, Diane.
Thank you so much, Lyle. It was fun, as always, to spend time with you.
Absolutely. And if you guys need any help with your health, you have questions about your health, maybe there's something in your life that doesn't make sense, you want to reach out to Diane. She'll help you if she can. And if she can't, she'll tell you she can't, or she'll point you to somebody who can. It's that simple. We're not everything to everybody, but we'll help where we can. That's why we get along so well. So Have a great day. I'm Lyle Leeds, and that's Diane Cassel. Reach out if you need us.